Hi, I'm Rosie.
Yay, I'm back on YouTube.
Welcome to my channel. We're looking to what's going on intuitively in the world, from the political to the personal.
You can book personal readings on my website, rosieinsights.com. Rosie and Karina News Digest. Rosie Insights started about 7 years ago as Rosie Psychic Investigator, looking at news related to the Trump administration. Over the years, I have followed the practice of doing research about what's going on in the news, making that a core feature of my content. As of November 7th, 2024, I have had Karina as my daily guest slash partner for the series after the election. We are committed to working as a pair on this series at least until this election situation is resolved. Karina lives in Arizona, loves crystals, and is a certified aromatherapist. She is working on her website for private client healing appointments. We'll share her info once it's ready. Karina started as Rosie's, meaning my client, about 5 years ago, and then we became friends and started sharing the conversations we were having privately already. This channel is about looking at current news and events through an intuitive lens and sharing intuitive information. This content is for entertainment purposes only. Trust your intuition. This channel is just one source. Do your research, trust your intuition. You are the master of your own beliefs. What we won't do: conform. We do not conform with what other channels say necessarily. This is an independent channel, as is theirs. If you have a question about what you heard on another channel, ask that channel. On to today's episode. If you like this video, subscribe and press like. Thank you for watching.
Hello, everybody. Welcome. Roses like investigator. Okay, so today is Sunday, December 22nd. I am recording a note to go with yesterday's video. So I posted yesterday videos, then I made it unlisted because it turns out that the first item I looked at, it was a parody account. It wasn't written by Trump, truly. And I posted it because I trust the person who posted it, whose account posted it. I've been following her for years. So anyway, so that was that. Okay. That's still, so I communicated with Karina also to see what did she think, right, about this. I still feel like I felt as I felt today, as I feel today, as I felt yesterday, that was a reading of his energy and the energy was correct. So much so that, and I'm addressing this on the video today, that Trump actually made a speech, was doing a speech in Arizona, and he said that no, that Elon Musk can never be president because he wasn't born here. So it goes to show that even though the writing wasn't his style, and it was in fact a parody that aligned with his um energy. Okay, so just so you know, everything else checks out. I'm so careful usually, right, with fact checking and everything, so I apologize for that. But so that's why I made it unlisted. I received messages and comments about that, but that's the reason. So I'm just going to stop here and then move on to today's video. Okay, thank you for watching. Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosie Corinna Psych Biscuit. So,
Hello.
hello, guys. So let's get started. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so before we move on to this next, slightly different subject. This is something that happened yesterday. I sent Karina this comment, which I thought was very interesting. It says, remember, top security officials explain the different levels of security with documents. One, as you described, Rosie, only certain very select people with specific clearance can view the information, but it is never allowed to be spoken about ever, even those with same clearance. So then Karina responded, right, Karina? So she was saying that she picked up on Trump's energy. So go ahead, Karina, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. I started at, I was just sitting here getting ready to go to bed, and I started to pick up Trump's energy. And I felt, actually, it's in my text here to Rosie, I felt panicked and scared, and I
Mhm,
got the knot in my stomach, and I started to feel nauseous, like I was getting sick. And then it branched out and it turned into like the gang of Republicans, the right wing media. Um, Elon flashed in. He wasn't even concerned because he doesn't quite get it. But then I felt this. It was the most eerie feeling. Their feeling of panic and fear is starting to creep in. They realized word had gotten out that there had been an emergency meeting at the White House, and that's what started to set this eerie feeling off in them because they have no clue what it was. There was no talk about it. It wasn't planned. It just happened. They weren't informed. So at 2 a.m., actually, what the text is at 2 a.m. in the morning, I started to feel their energy of that eerie freak out, like what is going on? Because they all know it's not right. That's what I was telling Rosie. They know. They know they can feel it. They know it's not right. They know he didn't win. They know they're covering it up, but they also know that something isn't right. And that really freaked them out.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, and so I said to her, yes, I can kind of feel it because this what I mean to the reason why I was like I was remembering that conversation just right after we had just recorded this other part of the video is because it feels as if they're not as calm as they technically should be, right? They seem to
Mm-hmm.
be, it's like the no honor among thieves, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's it.
Yep.
So that's it for now. Let's move on to another subject. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So another thing that I wanted to discuss today, uh, it's the upsetting lawsuit that Trump has now against Ann Selzer, the very famous pollster who's always been right. And when people, on the one hand, you could say, "Oh, it's so because it's so upsetting, right? How dare he?"
Mm-hmm.
It makes so much sense because he's fascism is about attacking the truth, and I'm 100% believe that she got the right results,
Mm-hmm.
and that he is attacking her because she knows the truth, and that the goal with fascism and people like Trump is that the truth can never be believed.
Right.
So so the whole and it's interesting because Trump like we remember how they the Polly marked all the BS. They
Mm-hmm.
manipulated all of it. She was right. And now she's being sued. Now, just to tell you also, this is and I because I when I looked it up for today, I saw this article. I saw just the headline of the New York Times, and I was so furious because of the way they framed her. And I want to show this to you because you need to see it to understand what we're dealing with, the whole sort of fascism discourse. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. So look at this. I'm gonna read it. Famed Iowa pollster's career ends with a spectacular miss in a Trump lawsuit. Known for her gold standard polls of Iowans, Ann Selzer is facing retribution from Donald Trump after her final 2024 survey showed a surprising and ultimately wrong winner.
Really? Really?
No,
Really?
and it's sort of like, why don't you question this? It's like New York Times has the resources to do actual research, but instead
Right.
they go with this mayor. They basically, right?
Yep.
So, so I want to know. Let me actually take. So I try to include it. So this article has her picture, but as you know, it's so complicated. Let me actually get her picture here. because I'm convinced that she's going to get her name back. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
let's here, Corinna, let's see. Okay, let me see if I can. It's so upsetting. It's so
It's
egregious,
infuriating.
right? It's
It's
awful.
yes.
It's awful. Okay, so
And
okay.
it makes no sense. That's well, we're going to discuss that, but
Okay, so there she is.
oh,
Yes. That's her. Okay, that's
yes.
Selzer. And I like her and I love how she looks. She looks very dignified and very proud of herself, which is what she should be, right?
Yep.
So 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 let's see. So let's ask Karina, what is going to let's look forward. Like what's going to happen to her? Let's see here. So that's his answer. So let's ask the question. I mean, we know the reason. What can should we ask? What is
Mm-hmm.
okay, what
Yeah.
is when?
Yes, let's ask because I've already got some images coming in.
That's right. I'm asking here. So what does Trump think is going to happen here with this lawsuit? Why is he doing that? What does he think? Oh, it's saying because she has what he thinks is a proof. She was
Mm-hmm.
correct. So we have to rip it up, rip it up. The truth doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter. What matters is the fiction I created and how I'm so good that I was able to create it to create a lie and legitimize it. And we know that from anyone who knows a little bit about Trump, even with things that are insignificant like golf, he cheats. So something that like
Mm-hmm.
election, of course, this is how he sees the world. So he cheats, he gets away with it, and the person who knows and he's saying he's afraid of her because she was correct.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so okay. Now
Yeah.
then the next question. The so okay, or let me let me
You
say
go ahead. Go
and then
ahead.
you say
Yeah,
you say
you go ahead.
you say everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because then the next question is what will be the outcome of this lawsuit? Let's see. Today is December. Filed. Oh, wait, then I see handcuffed. Both him and Leon go. Oh, I see Leon going in the police car, and they change the votes. And then she gives. Oh, I think I think she should sue
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
both them and also even like the New York the way that they like debased her character
Mm-hmm.
and attacked her, and also it's saying because it could destroy the newspaper, that lawsuit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
see that she's standing, well, I knew I was correct. I couldn't say it because I knew what I was up against, but I
Mm-hmm.
did, and here I am suing the people that I'm suing for defamation
Mm-hmm.
because I think, wow, I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what's so interesting? This is like really unexpected. I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
How did I expect? So it's I saw an image of a person. The wife of Steve Jobs, the Apple guy, died, of course. So
Mm-hmm.
his wife, when he died, was Lorraine. Her name is. So I see this woman next to her, to Ann Selzer. She's underwriting the lawsuits against these people. So it's good because it's so
Mm-hmm.
egregious,
Mm-hmm.
right? What they're doing to somebody who's, first of all, not really political, because she even gave, even the other election, she said he was going to win. He did win, 2016. So it's like, wow. So she's going to, yes. And I see that it shows me that it's not going to last long, that soon enough, they're going to go. It shows a very short period where this lasts, but
Right.
the consequences to the people who push the lie about her, she's going to get money from both.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead, go ahead.
No, same thing. It's because she knows the truth, of course. And that's why he's doing it and doing it now because it makes absolutely no sense to go after her. You won. Dude, you're about to be inaugurated, I thought, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
so that's what you think.
Mm-hmm.
Why? It's because it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it is. But it took me immediately to the outcome.
Go ahead.
And I saw her in a courtroom. And you know who was with her? It was very powerful. It was, um, now I'm not going to say them in order because they're just going to pop in. It was Christine Blasey Ford.
Mm-hmm.
It was, wasn't it Marie Yovanovitch?
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't she went through all that.
Mm-hmm.
The uh, Shay Moss and Ruby Freeman, even Hunter Biden was behind her because he had the same smear campaign. They
Mm-hmm.
were all standing with her in court
Mm-hmm.
because they did the same thing to every single one of those women.
Mm-hmm.
And so she has that power behind her, and she's going to turn around and sue their butts off.
Hmm.
She is not going to go out with a spectacular fail. She's
Hmm.
going to go out with a spectacular win.
Hmm. That's right. And I see that she's gonna get, I don't know, I see a lot of money, like I don't know, 400 million something. I don't know, because Elon Musk has a lot of money. So it's good because he's part of it. He's a huge figure in this conspiracy, but he has a lot of money. So it's good news for anybody who's been wronged because they can go after him once this
Yeah.
actually happens, right? So,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. She'll come out on top.
okay, excellent. Good news. Good news for her. Wow.
Yes.
God bless her. But I feel she's strong. She knows it. She knows it. Okay. All right.
Because she
So,
knows the truth.
yeah.
She's standing firm in the truth. She knows exactly the truth. So it's not even phasing her as
Mm-hmm.
much as it would have in the
Mm-hmm.
past. Like, with all those other women, because they had no chance at the truth because of who was in charge.
Mm-mm.
She's got a chance.
Mm. Okay. So, all right. So very good. Very good. Okay. So let's go to the next subject. Okay. So there was something that I thought it was a bit of a like a footnote, but it's actually not. It's relevant to all the stuff we're talking about media and journalism, television, the differences. So look at what broke today. This is Trump. It is my great honor to appoint Mark Burnett as the special envoy to the United Kingdom. With a distinguished career in television production and business, Mark brings a unique blend of diplomatic acumen and international recognition to his important role. So Mark Burnett, if you guys don't know, he is the apprentice producer.
Mhm.
And he's the guy who has all the tapes of Trump behind the scenes. And you know how that's never been released, right?
Mm-mm.
So just to say, this is this is what happens, right? When you are nice, when you do listen. So let me ask a question. So is he actually going to the UK? Is he gonna move to he's gonna start his job? Is Mark Burnett going to start his job in the UK? Okay, so he's like he's has packing, he's look I see that he's looking at the flights waiting with a suitcase and then he gets the notification it's not gonna happen. He's like, okay, dokie, let me turn back then. Bye. Okay, okay. So, and it tells me as I was reading this out loud, I got this information saying something like, Rosie, at the end of the day, it's gonna be good because all these people who got these nominations, it's all corrupt. So they
Hmm.
have the branding of like corruption or like treason and corruption. Not only did they not get the job, but they will have to spend the rest of their lives with the scarlet letter of the Trump administration that never was. So, so okay, so that's
Yeah.
so do you get
That
some?
was so interesting because as you were saying that, I saw a cow being branded
Oh,
because I grew up in the country. So that's what I
oh,
would
okay.
see. So, yes, anybody who has, been on the Titanic with Donald is going down.
Wow,
So, and has that branding for life.
wow,
He's
yeah,
going to just stick with Survivor, not Apprentice.
that's, that's right.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's what it is. It's showing everybody who people are. When it goes with that saying, when people show you who they are, believe them.
mm-mm-mm. Wow, wow,
Because Mark Burnett has showed who he's been for a long time now.
yeah. So,
And that shouldn't surprise anybody that he's
yeah,
wanting to be in that.
yeah. Okay, all right. So on to the next. Okay, so now changing the subject completely, going now to Germany. So there's a lot going on. I was telling Karina in terms of issues were going on with Germany in Germany related to Germany. So the first big thing that is very shady is this guy. He's the chancellor. Okay, so that's him. You see here, Germany's Scholz. He's the German chancellor. Now the government fell over there recently, and they're gonna have to have new elections. Now the thing about Scholz as I was telling Karina, because I was like, Karina, I have to kind of go over this because I don't even know the question. And she was like, just let's just talk about it. And there's a lot of this stuff, a lot of information is helpful for people to understand.
Hmm.
So, so why do I know about, I'm not sure about. Mr. Schultz. No, so I have, some of you know that I have this interest in the financial markets, the history of finance, and a lot of things related to that. I was very, very focused on, I followed everything about the Wirecard scandal. So the Wirecard scandal, it was this bank, let's say this fintech company in Germany called Wirecard. And it was touted as like a huge, huge success and so forth. But it turns out the company had been infiltrated by Russians. And the CFO, I think, I don't remember if he was a CFO. It was not CTO or CFO. I don't remember his name is Jan Marsalek.
Hmm.
He's literally a Russian agent. And as the company started to, I forgot exactly, there was likely there were some whistleblowers.
Hmm.
And by the time they got around to finding the issue, the guy escaped. He left and he's in Moscow now. He's in Russia. So the guy who's a huge in the company. So both him and the CEO is in prison. And this was a company that it was like huge in Germany. Okay. And Germany, as you probably know this, they're very like German culture, right? They're very
Hmm.
much about the whole culture is about knowing what's right or wrong. Like it's even in the language.
Hmm.
So it's not very German at all. This on many levels, but the point is that for it to go from being this huge company and then falling in the manner that it did, what was remarkable is that there were so many red flags raised with the finance minister. Who was the finance minister at the time? Olaf Schultz. So
Hmm.
knowing all of this, so there was this huge podcast by a woman, I forgot her name, but she's a compliance professional. So this is how I'm very detail oriented. So it was like 40, 50 episodes. It was so detail oriented and I loved it, of course, because I'm like, oh, did they file the reports and what did they say? And I was like, it's so detailed. So there was several episodes about this, how this guy just let him like, oh no, let's not go to, they didn't want to prosecute it. And this is sort of here, it's sort of like it's so big. It's something like all these financial scandals, one of the biggest ones, because it collapsed. The whole thing collapsed.
Hmm.
There's no there there. It was total fraud, and Russia's involved. And the guy ran away. The main person ran away. And there's Olaf Schultz is in this party. Now he's in the party of now. There's another. I'm talking. Is it okay? But I have to give this information to people.
Yes, it's very informative.
Yeah,
Please do.
so then the other thing that's interesting about Schultz is that he's in the same party as Gerhard Schroeder. So Gerhard Schroeder is this former German chancellor who was so close to Putin. He was in the board of Rosneft. He was recently he had an office because he was a former chancellor in the Bunds I think it's the Bundestag, like is that right, in the government building over there.
Hmm.
He was kicked out because it was so embarrassing the fact that you have this huge person. So does whatever Putin wants, and was like Rosneft is what, as you know, Russia, like all these state companies are corrupt, right? And there
Right.
he was like help Putin out. And this guy is in the same party as Gerhard worked Richter, this is the Peter, Gerhard Schroeder. So there we are. Now, then suddenly, so he becomes chancellor. This is after he was a finance minister. And now
Hmm.
to help out, he's gonna go, he said this week, I'm gonna go to Moscow, try to eke out a peace plan with Putin. And it's like we know that never works. And it's an act of humiliation to go there to do this. It's so embarrassing. But there we are. So then I have something else to show. This is because then it's gonna sorry, it's a long, but the next one is very big because it relates to NATO also.
Right.
Okay, so then not only that, so then his head not only is he gonna go to Moscow, but here he is. There's an article in the Financial Times. It's interesting how the Financial Times now it's now it became subscribed, but it's legit, very legit. So this is I have to read this. This is interesting. So there was a meeting, right? Okay,
Hmm.
Olaf Scholz was exasperated at a meeting of EU leaders this week to brainstorm ways to maintain support for Ukraine when Donald Trump returns as US president. The German chancellor became irate. Then an idea he has regularly shot down was being touted again. At the discussions at the home of my boyfriend, aka Mark Rutte, in Brussels on Wednesday night, Polish President Andrzej Duda called for the EU to confiscate and spend the $260 billion worth of Russian sovereign assets mobilized at European financial institutions, an idea promoted by the US and UK but resisted by Germany, France, and Italy. You don't understand how this would affect the stability of our financial markets, Scholz barked across the table at Duda, startling other leaders present, according to three people briefed on the discussions. You don't even use the euro. So, hmm, don't you think, like, what kind of person would be like, but you're gonna take the money away from them? Do you understand how bad it is? It's gonna get money, okay? Don't you think it's like, I don't know,
Yeah,
what else do you need to know about this guy to know that he's compromised? And by the way, the other thing is, he is traditional, I think, center left. It's so in other ways, like you would think, oh, he's not a bad, except
right.
I mean,
Except,
that he's compromised. So,
yeah,
so what is going on? Like, so sorry, I had to say all of this thing because it is important.
yeah, it is important.
So, okay, so then what is going on with Olaf Scholz and Germany because of this? Okay, what is going on with Olaf Scholz? I see he has a knife on his, what is it? He's like, has a knife. He has a big knife on his neck. Why? Who's holding the knife? Putin.
Putin.
You see building. There is a building over there. You see a big tall building. You go near a window, I throw you building. So
Yeah,
really he's like, but why? Why Putin? Why do you have I like these people, the European people come here. They pretend they don't know me. I know you very well, Olaf. We go together back in the day. I know information about you. So you have to do what I want because I gave you a lot of good things. I gave you your wow, I think there's tapes. I think it's compromised sexually, honestly.
yeah. Mhm.
And that's it. So why is why is he going to Moscow? And what does this act mean for NATO and the Trump, right? So that's right. So it's saying part of the deal that he has with Putin is that he has to act in this humiliating kind of way. Because of course Putin his fantasy is that Russia is this huge important country. And it's
Right.
basically a terrorist nation, right, at this point.
Yeah,
So so the,
exactly.
so Putin wants to like the pomp and circumstance. And he wants to disrupt the support to Ukraine. So what happens then? He comes back, and then I see a trash for him. He's
Yeah,
thrown in the trash by Germany. He's like, and then, oh wow, and I see interesting, wow, and I see that they pull out. Oh, that's well, of course, that's why he was so mad at the meeting. Germany is gonna have to pull out, like the roots of it. It's just like pulling out from the earth, and it shows him, Schroeder, and how this whole thing started. The people that are supportive of Germany, whether by compromise or what. And
right.
he's one of them. And that a lot of the reasons why Russians went as far as they did was because they were compromised,
Yeah.
basically.
They had
So
all those compromised people in
okay,
place.
okay.
Yes.
So what happened now? Wow. Okay. So what is this related to the NATO? Like, is this somehow going to, because Germany, of course, is a huge country in the EU. They're very powerful. They're a wealthy country in the EU. So how is this going to impact
Yeah.
uh uh right? How is this going
Because
to
that's
impact,
what Putin wants. He wants to destabilize Germany too.
right? Sorry, so what's going so what does well, for example, as far as NATO route and the actions against Russia, what is it? He's like try oh interesting. He puts a pedal to stop, to break. Stop it. And then
Yeah.
and then I see Mark Rutte and being like, bye.
Hmm.
Enjoy the trash. He's in the
Hmm.
trash. So that's right. His government
Yeah.
fell. Okay.
And
Well,
Germany just is too close to this. I mean, it's not long ago that they went through all that with,
right.
yeah,
So
they don't want
okay.
another
So
Putin
uh,
on
so
this guy.
Okay, so what is going to happen? So is this going to stop Rutte from acting against Russia or not? Who's going to know? No,
No.
because he's out. So no, he can't. And I think he doesn't really necessarily like he's obligated to do these things for Putin, but he's not he's not pro Putin in the sense that the far right is. So
Right.
they just have to put him in a neutral position, Olaf, and then and then and that's that. Okay. So, but still, so what happens is NATO still, yes, he's going to act. Yes. Is NATO, does he need, okay, does Mark Rutte need the approval of Olaf in order to act against Russia? Does he need the approval? No, not like, no. They need certain things. I think they may alert. I don't know how to, does it make, what do you pick up? Do you pick up
Yeah,
any?
I don't feel like he does need him
Mm-hmm.
because it showed me like there's certain people in NATO that would have to, but he's not one of them. Like I didn't see.
Okay.
It was like a no for him.
Okay, so I see that he wants to push away all the immediate aid to the Ukraine, but he doesn't have the power
No,
to complete. No, okay, okay.
no.
Wow, okay.
And you know what? They're watching. Anybody that wants to push that aid to Ukraine away,
Mm-hmm,
at this point, they know is pro-Putin.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay.
It's so obvious at this point. So people are looking at them like that too now.
Mm, okay, wow.
They're starting to see it.
Okay. So, wow, okay. So then, all right, so now let's then so there's this so then that's right. So it's saying I see that he's just a bump on the road in NATO and then he's going to trash. This guy is.
Yeah,
And then there's the elections. Now let's move to the elections in Germany because our friend Elon is so interested in the neo-Nazi party over there. Okay, so I'm gonna pause here and get the other screen. Okay, so we talked about Olaf Scholz. Now we have our friend Elonia, Elonia. Colombia. Okay, so backlash builds as Elon Musk endorses Germany's far right. Only the AfD can save Germany, said a key Donald Trump ally. So I had to look up the name. So it's Alternative for Germany, Alternative für Deutschland. So as we know, there was a man back in the day over there. Starts with an H. So Germany has had to put up so many laws against over there. It's not free speech. You can't say certain things. You can't say some words are banned. Like,
hmm
well, you can say it. It's illegal and everything. The leader, they can't. There's a lot of ways that they change. They had to create all these mechanisms to denazify, essentially. And
right.
there comes Nazi bro, tech bro, Elon Musk. Like, really, what else could be more Nazi than the neo-Nazi and the Nazi, the country where the Nazi situation happened. Okay.
Exactly.
So then, but I received messages from people in Germany actually who were concerned because the AfD is very far, like they are doing well in the election. So, and then the guy, by the way, there was the Christmas market terrorist attack. I don't ask me how it's what's wrong with these people, but so this is a Saudi guy who is anti-Muslim. Um, and he's like, I hate, I don't know, Muslims or something, or like the religion. So he was really into the AfD. Then I don't know how all these things are. He's just insane. Okay. So he drives a car and kills at least 5 people, 200 injured. In this Germany, Christmas markets are huge. So he does it there. And then of course the far right loves it. Like, oh, here's an immigrant. He did all this. So, so it's a climate of like all of so much happening, and there also Germany is in a recession, so there's a lot going on. So given all of this, what's going to happen in the German elections? Is this far right party going to go far? What's going to happen? Okay, sorry, let's go here. What's happening?
No, I don't see it going far.
Okay,
I think once
go ahead.
all this comes out with all the election fraud, that Germany's going to be saved from all that.
Hmm. So okay, so I saw when I looked, and I meant to ask the people in the uh who has sent me this tell me more about the other parties because they're, I guess they're number two or something. So I saw that then what happens next is also pulling the roots, showing what the connection that Olaf Scholz has with the back in the day, the compromat.
Mm-hmm.
Then and then this with and I see that people really hate, I think the large majority of people just hate Elon Musk so much. He's just a
Oh
horrible
God, yeah.
person. Nobody wants him in the government anywhere. So and then I see that it's the same that this issue with these parties, it's very easy to uncover to stop them. You just uncover the money, where the money comes from.
Yes, exactly, exactly.
Well, it's not like saying it's
No,
hard. You have to stop them
yeah.
by exposing that money. I think Germany is going to have to do that. And I think also it's interesting that what I'm understanding here, of course, Germany has a complex history, and I think they've done, not that I know everything, but they've done a pretty decent job at like trying to educate the population about what the Nazi era was
Mm-hmm.
and all that. But they still have to uncover the issue with the Stasi because remember how the wall fell. There's a lot
Yeah.
of unexplained. There was a huge connection there in the eastern part of Germany, especially. And the left usually, of course, may have had a connection with Russia like back in the day. So there's also right, there's also that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's something more related to the East Germany situation that people were a lot. Oh, and you know what? I now that I'm remembering actually that there was a I saw one time a picture of Schroeder with this guy from the Stasi. Like they had a big role in the Stasi, something like that. So it's really right. There's a
Yeah.
connection. It's pretty dire.
Yeah. And
Stasi,
it's pretty obvious.
if you don't know, Stasi was the secret service of Eastern Germany, East
Mm-hmm.
Germany, where there was this amazing movie. There was an amazing movie about it. It was called The Life of Others. It was this postman. It was amazing because the whole country, there were listening devices everywhere. Everybody was ratting out each other, and it was just awful. People go to prison for no reason,
Mm-hmm.
privacy. It was just awful. So that was the environment, and
Yeah.
so that's what it is. It's saying they have to uncover. So this is again this idea of the Pluto uh
Mm-hmm.
Aquarius, like things moving, digging, showing the power structures that were hidden, uh,
Yeah.
and exposing those people once for all. So I see that again, once I think that, like Akrina said, once the Trump thing happens and they expose the financial, that's all they have to do. And Schultz is like he's just gonna go to trash.
Right.
No, he
Right.
reminds me the other day I was telling Akrina I caught a mouse. So I heard a noise and I was like, oh, I have to go get the traps. And then I was like, ee, ee. It was like because the the mouse got caught, and I was like, bye. I do I step on it. I was like, you're a mouse. And that's what happens. I'm sorry, you're cute, but it's the same thing with Olaf Schultz. He's like, you're a rat. You go to trash.
Mm-hmm.
The end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, right? It's like you can't
Mm-hmm.
live with it with a mouse. It's not healthy, right? Can't think of they're cute. If
No.
if you become a creature like that, you go to trash. And that's it. So anyway, sorry. But
Yeah.
I think
No, they all deserve that.
there is a parallel between the US I see and Germany with the Trump thing, where Germany
Yeah.
also has this big, because I think one of the problems with the US is a self-image. Oh, we're the perfect country. Everything is so great. Everything is so like it's so idealized. And I think Germans also have this idea about like it's a very, we're very upright citizens, and we know what's right or wrong, and then
Yeah.
to see this, it's kind of the same. It feels similar to me, the way that
Mm-hmm.
Germans also have to dig deep, but more related to the recent past of the connections and the compromats and all that.
Yeah.
And also, sure, they have to look at the guy. What was he doing in the finance ministry, letting all this and let's get real. Deutsche Bank. Hello, Deutsche
Yeah.
Bank.
Exactly.
Deutsche
Exactly.
Bank.
Yeah.
And we know
Hmm.
that connections with Trump, right? So it's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
So that's that. That is enough for Germany. Oh, there's one more. Huh. So Germany's special today. Okay, I'm gonna pause because I'm gonna bring something up. Okay, so then the last thing about Germany here is that this is you see it's from the 13th, so it's about a week ago.
Hmm.
And as we know, the US government has sort of changed their position about the drones. They're no longer kind of Hi, so here, Germany's Der Spiegel magazine said drones were also seen over facilities belonging to the Rheinmetall. Oh, so this is like how you know that it's a Russia thing, okay? Because they go after, they hate any company that is fabricating arms to defend Ukraine. So,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
Mm-hmm.
there they go. They're belonging to their Rheinmetall arms maker. It comes after the U.S. So authorities said there was no evidence of threat over drone sightings in New Jersey. By the way, that has since changed. So, given my question about this, and by the way, I just want to clarify. I know people think, oh, I don't believe it. Like the UFO situation is not for me. Okay, I know there's a lot of people who like, there's a lot of far right conspiracy theories related to the whole, like, it's not my thing. Okay, what I really believe is that these are actual things happening. And if you
Mm-hmm.
just look up drones in Ukraine, it's a real thing. It's warfare. Okay. All right. So, so
Yeah.
the question is this going to help Mark Rutte make a decision? It, maybe this is, what does Mark Rutte think about this? These drones over US bases. What does he think? Okay.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What does Mark Rutte do? How does NATO see this? It's like they could be preparing for an attack. That's right. Because if you look at the role of drones in warfare, they explode. I'm not saying they will now. This could just be recognition. They could be taking pictures, but they could also, because they went close to the arms maker, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could
Mm-hmm.
this is something that the Russians have targeted, they have killed people who own these companies. They have done a lot of things to harm people who are helping Ukraine or
Right.
give arms to Ukraine. So selling, right? Not giving, selling. So the and it's so funny because those so-called capitalists, like if you're a capitalist, do you like a country that's gonna bomb you if you try to sell your stuff to no. So anyway, so long story. But then the question is this: what does what does he see? That's right. I see that he is pushing. But he said it. We have to have a different mindset towards Russia. But
Right.
is this going to be the thing that will lead? Because you had seen it, right, Karina? I had seen
Yeah,
it. Some big
exactly.
one-time thing. What is it?
I think so because
Go
I
ahead.
think they're setting the stage is what I get. They're setting the stage, both Russia and NATO.
Okay.
I still do see that one last event.
Okay. So that's right. And I think there are ways to completely block this. It is a little bit disruptive once you activate the anti-drone situation.
Hmm.
But but um but that's
Yeah,
what
I mean, it is. I mean, I hate to say it, but we are in the definition of warlike things happening.
hmm
So, the
hmm
definition of war is not a pretty definition.
hmm
It's not easy, and there could be things that happen within that definition. So,
Okay. So
yeah.
all right, okay, so tell me more about what Russia is. Yeah, so I see that they're observing this and uh and they see it for what it is. Okay, so all right, but I
Well,
guess
and I see that they see it's escalating.
okay, all right.
Now it's not just the places in the United States, it's escalating.
Yes, yes. Okay. All right. So all right, but that's it. That's just kind of like a and it's simple because I know I'm like when, but it's just it's saying we don't know exactly when really is the answer, but
Mm,
when NATO is going to act, that's what I meant. But that's part of it. It's part of a pattern. Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let's move. Is there a new, I don't know if even if let's see. There may be the last thing that we're going to talk about today. Oh, there's just another. Let's just move. There's one subject. People had questions about Starlinks in India. So let's
Yes.
move to the next. Okay, let me just pause this and move to the next. Okay, so I saw this news maybe like a week ago. It's been on for a while, and to be honest, I wasn't sure. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, so maybe I should just ask because so what happens is that the Indian government found these. I guess there was a drug bust.
Hmm.
founded all this, I think, money or drugs or something, and they had Starlinks with them. So, so then they're like, the government was like, I don't, it's not clear to me whether the government turned it off or, and then Elon Musk said, no, there was never any service in India of Starlink. And then there was a possibility that these people had, there was also some rebels that were caught, in addition to the drug dealers, rebels from Myanmar, the country that is has a
Hmm.
lot of conflicts. There's I think they have a border with India, they might have. But the point is like, they're very close or something. So what is the story? What's going on here? What's the story? Let me ask. What's going on with India and Starlink and this like because then Corey and I were talking right. Corey was like, why would they have it if it didn't work?
Exactly. There's no reason to carry around equipment that doesn't work.
That's right. So what's the story? So tell us what is the truth here about these Starlinks? Wow.
They work.
Yeah. You know what I got is like, no, Rosie, if you pay for it, you get it. It doesn't matter where you are. It's sort of like it's like a cell phone. If you have a cell phone that has, but I guess, like TNT, for example, if you travel, they have a local, they pair with a local government. But oh, that's what it is. What happens is Elon Musk, he violates the law. Like he gives service when
Right.
they're not supposed to have service. Doesn't It's just like, oh, whatever, who cares? As is like, as you know, I'm the king of the world. I could do whatever I want. The world is my oyster. The national boundaries don't matter to me. They are paying, they can have it. So, but I have a question. How, oh, because they could have bought it in a different country or something. And that, so they could say they could have bought it from Russians. It just works. I guess
Yes,
it
it's
works.
magical how it works for them.
Okay. Oh, and this is the thing that's what happens. Like, but this is the thing that I don't get. Like, okay, of course, like everyone pretty much, I don't like Elon Musk, but it's unforgivable. The amount of leeway this guy has. It's unforgivable because this, in order to suggest this is like no, there's no services or no service because he doesn't want the other governments to come to say, wait, well, what does this mean? To investigate how,
Right.
like how far the information he can capture all of it. So it's not, it's too dangerous for all the countries involved, including us. Like the fact that this guy gets around. Like he said,
Exactly.
this should have
It's
been
another thing in his black
years ago.
book.
That's
Yeah.
right.
It's
Oh,
another country.
and it's saying this is why he connected with Russians, of course, because they would help him transgress and break the law because it's in their interest, right? Too.
Right. Right.
So okay, so what's going to happen, for example, India and Ilama? So that's right. They told him you can't have this here.
Yeah,
And
they're
he
not
said,
going to put up
okay,
with it.
okay, okay. So, but I see, what I see is that it's a stolen or black market. They could have bought this, and I have seen news before that Russians were caught selling in the black market these Starlinks, and like they bought them in the Lithuania, something like that. They can buy it from a third country, like, and then use it for themselves. There's a lot of ways around it, so it's not secure. Okay,
No.
so that's
No.
it. And so what it shows is that we already know it's too dangerous. This guy is another piece of evidence. Okay.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. And that's why I'm seeing again, that's why this equipment has to be completely destroyed
Mm-hmm.
because it's so compromised. We have to just destroy it.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. God,
Wow.
this guy gets around, I'll
Right.
say.
So it's just again, it's a wake up call for the world. Nobody should have as much power. No, this type of thing should not go unchecked. So,
Exactly. Exactly. We can't allow this to happen anymore.
mhm.
He's trying to take over every country. There's
Wow.
nothing, no stone unturned for him. He just wants to grab every country he can get his hands on.
That's right. That's right. Wow. Okay. All right. All right, Karina. Okay. So that's it,
Wow.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's enough for one day, I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah. All right. So okay, guys. So thanks for watching and have a good Saturday. And I may or may not make a video tomorrow. I don't know yet, but just so you know. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
Bye.
talk to you later. Bye.